way.
All right. I totally missed your countdown. Sorry about that. I was listening to Matt. This is the City of Highwoods regular city council meeting. It's Tuesday, June 21st. It is 7:40. Well, we're pretty close to being on time for us. 7:40. Roll call, please.
Alderman Grace,
Here.
Ballberg,
Here.
Fetterman,
Here.
Fiore, Peterson,
Here.
Slavin.
Well, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We had no questions on the minutes in pre-session, so if I can get a motion to approve the June,
21st.
yeah, that'd be today's.
So moved.
Well,
21st. Wait, we don't have 21st. We're on the 21st. June
Okay,
7th.
so can we approve those?
We can vote, no problem, that's fine.
Okay, good.
Just amend the date.
Amended to June 7th.
June 7th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then the committee of the whole minutes from June to amend it to June 7th, 2016. Can I motion for that, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this evening we do have an appointment, number 4. It is to the Highwood Police Pension Board. Miss Susan Sandal, welcome back. For a 3-year term, starting May 1st, 2016, so we're just into it by a month and a half. Susan is currently on the Fire Pension Board, so she has a really good understanding of all the pension here. We do have an opening, and she'd be in town for the first one. The second one, they go back to back.
Whose spot? Remember?
I don't remember whose spot it was. Do you remember? It's been a while.
It was David Morey's spot.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll make the motion to approve Susan Sandell for the 3-year term, starting May 1st, 2016 to April 30th, 2019.
Second.
Motion second. Well, yeah, do you want to say something? Any questions? You're here. I feel bad. It's going to be boom, boom.
Like I said, I felt the responsibility to be here. Thank you for the appointment.
Absolutely.
Certainly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for
Now,
volunteering.
Dennis still on both of them?
Yes.
Well, that's great. Now you're great company.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Motion second. It's roll call.
Alderman Grace,
Yes.
Ballberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much. Talking about the ayes and yeses. I totally missed it today. All right. Warrant list. I don't think we had any questions on that one. It's all pretty straightforward. So I'll get a motion to approve the June 21st warrant list, please.
So move.
Second.
I think the only discussion we had, Alderman Grace had a good question about the payments to Highland Park. That'll be on a quarterly basis, and that will be found in our warrant list, correct?
Correct.
Thanks, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Peterson,
Aye.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Ballberg,
Yes.
Rice.
Yes.
Okay. At this time, if anyone's wishing to address the council, there's nobody in the crowd, so should say
Tell
nobody,
that.
but you're up next. So we have a packed house here this evening, and please,
It's not entertaining. I don't know why no one comes anymore.
we find ourselves entertaining at least. 7-1, presentation by the City of Highland Park Fire Services for our first week in action. Gentlemen.
Go home and watch this.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of council. Like you said, we're in our first week of providing fire and EMS services for City of Highwood. Those services also include, the full range of services that we provide Highland Park, which is our public ed, our fire prevention, and all our special teams. So in front of you, you have a list of our run stats so far to Highwood. And if I can explain, just clarify, what this means, you'll see that, what time we were notified, our arrival time, and the reaction time. The reaction time, obviously is the arrival time minus the notified time, and that gives us a response time to the community. And you can see, looking at all the responses that we had for this last week, our average response time to Highwood, regardless of the incident, is 1 minute and 50 seconds.
It's terrific.
And then the actual response time that you see on your sheet, that's how much time that we spent on location after we arrived here. And of course, the first call was a code 2, which is a non-emergency call. It was a problem alarm, and our guys stayed there longer just to figure out what was the cause for that alarm. But once we get our Fire Prevention Bureau through the community,
Right.
and clean up some of the alarms, and what I mean by cleaning up some of the alarms is fixing all the little problems that go on with fire alarms.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had our
Yeah, we've had our fair
More
share.
than our fair
mostly
share.
above the averages, and
And then what that'll do is that'll free up companies to respond to true emergencies.
it's great.
I don't know if you have more. Is there more?
I have a lot more.
Okay, cool. I'll hold my question
No,
then.
feel free to answer.
I just, it says at the top of the page, in districts 34, 37, and 34, 38, what are those numbers? We've never been lucky enough to have one of
That's
these
a very
before.
good question.
Curious what all this
We
means.
took the city of Highwood, and we've got the city of Highland Park broken down into grids. And what that does is that tells our 3 fire stations what calls that they're responding to. So we broke down the city of Highwood to 2 grids, 3437 and 3438. 3437 is we used the railroad tracks going through town to split the town. And we did that, operationally, so that when guys are responding to, when fire crews are responding to calls in grid 3437, which is west of the tracks, we don't have to worry about having to go through or getting stopped by a train.
Good point. Yeah.
So when we go to 3438, they're immediately thinking, okay, we got to catch the underpass over here so we don't get delayed by a train. So that'll determine what route they're going to take to get to anything east of the tracks.
Okay.
And my other question is, of all these responses or all these calls, were they all responses from the Half Day Road?
Yeah, you can see
do
in
you
your
tell what's
responses,
where?
under responses on the left-hand side, it tells you what vehicles went. Engine 33 actually took the 15 Michigan Avenue call. They might have been up in this district fueling, or they could have been at our training tower off of 22 training, and they're already in their vehicle. So they'll just get on the radio and say, hey, we're already up here. We'll take the call.
33 is headquarters central.
That's our headquarters.
34 is half day.
Correct.
Vinny, I was going to ask. Okay, I didn't know the numbers.
Makes
Thank
sense.
you.
So you can see under responses, primarily it's been engine and ambulance 34 responding to all your calls except for, the code 2 non-emergency call,
Right.
which you can see engine 33 took. And that's another advantage, is just having the depth that we have in Highland Park of multiple units responding on calls.
Absolutely.
So the next part of this is our fire prevention. And let me tell you where the status is. With the IGA, we said that we were going to hire another fire inspector to help cover the inspection services for the city of Highwood. And we just concluded that process. And, correct me if I'm wrong, we're making an offer to an individual probably this week. Right. So we had this on the schedule for a July 1st start, but everything was moved up, and we were happy to meet that challenge, and we're glad that we were in a position to meet that challenge. So we're right on target on getting that 3rd inspector in place. But we thought, since we have not been in Highwood to do any inspections, and we don't know where the businesses and everything is in town with the inspection services, we developed a plan to, from this point until the end of the year, it's going to be more of an informational and educational experience for the business owners. We're going to get into the buildings. We want to update our Knox box keys. We want to update all the contact information. We're going to point out issues that we're going to be looking for when we do our inspections. And we plan on doing the inspections starting in January. The first week of January, we're going to start the official inspection services. And hopefully that gives us enough time to go through all the businesses, point out areas of, that can be improved, and give the business owner an opportunity to get that done before we actually come out and do the inspection services. We're trying to take a really friendly approach to our inspection services.
That's great. Thank you.
What else here? Another thing we're going to do initially is to help reduce some of the calls. We're going to send one of the inspectors who is an expert on fire alarms. He's going to come through and try to clean up in this first 6 months just all the fire alarms and help the business owners go through the process of what needs to be done to make these.
I'm sure the business owners don't want to pay the false alarm fees either, so.
Correct. And, this way we'll have 6 months of an educational window for them. And, we're trying to help them help themselves. And then
Is that something, sorry to interrupt, is that something you take one business owner at a time and you actually kind of physically go to location, or is there anything we can help facilitate to have informational sessions posted here so that, we can announce this activity is coming and try to help get people aware of it?
Yeah, if, educational piece is always very helpful. When our inspectors are out there, they're going to identify themselves as the inspectors, and this is what we're here for. And at that time, they're going to take care of updating the contact information in Knoxbox and going through what needs to be done, especially if they have an alarm and stuff.
Okay.
Chief, you have, and I'm sure you're going to obviously visit every property over time anyways, but you have access to our firehouse data or whatever data it was that shows some of these gross offenders in terms of false alarm calls, right? So I'm sure there are some properties in which there's been many false alarm calls and some that there's been none. Is that data is all accessible to you?
Yes, we have all that data. We downloaded all that data, and that's going to give us a good start. We're not looking at the past and what was the past. We're starting fresh new with everybody, and we just want to start with a clean slate across the board.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to let Deputy Chief Larry Amade talk about the training, special events, and public education that's also going to occur in addition to running on all the calls. So.
Thank you.
Thank you. One thing I was going to mention, I was going to talk to Scott this week at finding out what's the best media outlets in Highwood that I can maybe use and help us get out to the business owners. So we'll talk about that and try to get some information out. And we have met with the business owners, some of the business owners. We went to the chamber meeting in May. And you were there? Oh, okay.
He was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we, talked a little bit, answered a lot of questions at that meeting. We're going to be at the July 12th meeting. So they're going to try to put that on the agenda at the end of this month so we can maybe get some more people there. But we'd be more than willing also to, if maybe we need a bigger location to talk to, if there's more business owners interested in us coming out.
Because it's going to affect them whether they like it or not. Like you said, contact, knockbox, alarms, all that good stuff is going to be necessary.
But as far as training, I'll pass this out real quick. It's a 17-pager, so I only get a couple to pass around. But this is just to give you a little bit of what we do for the training, part of the pre-plans. So we're going around to a lot of the businesses, some of our what we call target hazards. So this would be the Aperion Nursing Home over on Pleasant Avenue, 50 Pleasant. So our training officer put this together, and then we use a training program called Target Solutions. And so the guys actually are tested on, where the gas shutoff is to the building, certain things like that. So this is one of the handouts that was in that testing process and basically what we call a pre-plan. So we're in the process, especially of getting some of the buildings in town that we would consider, big life safety hazards looked at. So I just wanted to show an example of some of the training there that we're doing. We also are going to be at some of the special events in town. We're going to try to come to the Wednesday night in the park starting in July. So we'll have an informational table out there and try to, get us known to some of our services that we have to the public in Highwood. And of course, Pumpkin Fest, right? That's happening again this year, probably.
We need
Oh,
your
most
assistance.
definitely, yes.
Yeah, don't forget to talk to them about what they might need to do for that.
As soon as they have that special permit application in.
Well, yeah, I told you, the insurance we have to get bound first. It's coming.
So we,
You fill water barrels, right?
what's
You
that?
fill water barrels.
Sure, there you go.
Because it's part of the safety when you go through the event.
The horses
Yeah.
need the water.
So yeah, we know that's probably, one of the bigger events in town throughout the year. So I'm usually there every year myself anyway. So we'll have a presence there. And then public education wise, we do a lot of public education in Highland Park, and we want to offer that same service in Highwood. So I met with the Nuestro, I don't know if I said that right, center directors. And we're going to try to do some senior and youth programs. We currently have one firefighter to speak Spanish, but we also have some other interpreters that work for the city of Highland Park that'll be able to help us out with that. So we're getting some things together for the seniors and youth at the Nuestro Center. We also are going to be, we teach fire safety to all third graders in the District 112 in Highland Park. So we've already made contact with Oak Terrace, and we'll be there. And that's usually in October during Fire Prevention Week. We usually go out for about 3 weeks with the fire safety trailer and give some education to the youngsters. But that's about all I have. If you guys have any questions for us.
All right, just going back to the events.
Sure.
Well, this is one thing they didn't, one thing we always seem to miss and we'd like. If we provide a tent or a space that you would be able to be on site at, let's say, Pumpkin Fest, obviously to be there,
Emergency center?
almost like a little, have like, we have no Band-Aids or anything, any type of first aid station. Is that something you provide or?
Sure, we could. Yeah.
And then Highwood Day / Taco Fest, which will be a lot bigger this year. So we were talking and maybe having a meet and greet or, having the truck there if possible, so where kids can see the truck and, touch the truck type of thing.
Yeah, the Highland Park trucks.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Wednesday evenings too, so that's good also. A lot of kids are there.
Sure. Yeah, that's, like I said, Scott's got our contact. I've got some business cards if you guys would like them, and we'll.
Yeah, we don't want to be a service that just, disappears in the background. We want to be out in front of the public, and we're not afraid to be out in the public. So
We appreciate
That's
that.
great.
Appreciate you guys stepping up too for us. early.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
saved us all.
And with all your special events, just like we treat our special events, we have a big art fest and Taste of Highland Park. We don't provide an ambulance on scene for that event.
Oh, yeah.
History has shown that we don't get a lot of calls for that event. It doesn't mean that we're not accessible. We are accessible. But all your events, we will be there and we'll be evaluating it for, future needs, whether or not we actually have to have a vehicle there or not. Same thing with, Ravinia Festival.
Right.
99% of the time, we don't have an ambulance sitting on the scene.
Yeah, so one of the things we always went through, like on the design of the layout, was access and be able to drive a truck down the road at all times. So that's how we do design our event. So
But one thing we do ask is when you do have these kind of events and you do have a layout of it,
yeah,
we would like the fire prevention to look at this, and there are minimum aisle widths and stuff like that we try to maintain.
yeah. Well, we have learned those.
Okay.
Here comes the application comment. Go ahead.
For me.
And it's just to really help in case there was an emergency that there's no hiccups in the service, and that's mainly what it's for.
I tell you, this is a great report. And I know you said you're going to try to do it on a monthly basis.
Yeah, we provide to our city a monthly stat report, and we'll also provide that same report just for Highwood.
That would be great.
So that you guys can post it on your website, and It shows you all the services. It'll show you how many inspections we did, how many public education events we did. It shows you all the services that we do on a monthly basis.
That would be great. Anything we can do to help you?
Yeah, go ahead now.
You're going to ask the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything we need from us that we can make it better for you?
City Manager Corn has been fantastic on making this all work out. He's been
We're very lucky.
key to
Not
this.
surprising.
Yeah.
We've got some, and I'm sure it's already on your radar. I know the Hotel Moraine, Senior Hotel, but then some other forthcoming developments. So I'm sure as they get more mature in the process that they're brought to your attention.
Are there any privacy concerns with on something like this for?
The stat report that I'm going to provide you is clean, that you could post it on your website. I wouldn't recommend posting what I just gave you.
Okay.
Great.
There are different levels, and I'll send those out with managers' reports or other types of things.
That'd be great.
So we can see a few more of those. Our police stats are fairly similar in this way,
Okay.
where we might send some more of these out for our purposes, but not necessarily published.
Okay, thanks.
Good question.
Good point.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we do encourage, feedback, positive or negative. We want to hear it because we're always trying to constantly improve our own services. So
Thank you. Same with us too. If there's anything you need from us, just let us know as well. Two-way street.
thank you.
Have a good night. All right.
Great. What happened to the waffle guy on Wednesday nights? He's not there anymore.
What? Waffle.
Crepe guy was
Oh, the little, yeah, because you probably didn't do well enough. That's
there. The
why.
crepe guy's there. There's crepes.
Were you there last Wednesday?
I know.
Moving along, shall we?
I didn't say I was.
In shadows.
A shout out to the crepe and waffle guy. Did
Waffle guys were good, but
you try the donuts? Okay.
no.
Committee reports. Good. Treasurer's report. It should be today, no? Second Tuesday of the month?
Yes, we do not have it for this meeting.
Moving on to new business, 12.1, we have a consideration of an ordinance granting a variation from the Highway Appearance Code for 226 Marty Blumenthal and Benjamin Salzberg, a sign they had requested. If I get a motion for that, please.
I thought we had an all.
We still got to vote it.
It would just vote it down.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. This was declined by the ARC, correct?
Correct. They recommended not to approve this variation.
Right. Okay. So roll call, please.
Alderman Fetterman,
No.
Fallberg,
Already know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, no.
Yes, no?
Yes, no.
Grice,
Want to make sure I
Nay.
go in the right.
Peterson.
Nay.
All right. 12.2.
Don't say no.
Consideration of an ordinance authorizing the sale and donation of miscellaneous surplus property and equipment from the fire station. We do have a nice list and who it's going to. Most of it's going to the Historical Society as of right now. If I get a motion on that, please.
Also motion to waive first reading and approve as read.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Fallberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson,
Aye.
Grice,
Yes.
12.3, consideration of an ordinance adopting the prevailing wage rates for laborers, workers, mechanics employed by the city of Highwood.
A motion to waive, I figured I had to do it, yes? I'll make that motion, waive first reading and approve as read.
Okay.
I will second.
I was going to deny this.
Reluctantly.
Make Scott's life just a little more.
Let's do it a little red.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson,
Aye.
Grice,
Yes.
Fallberg,
Yes.
12.4, consideration of a motion directing the city manager to accept a proposal from JSMM Enterprises Corporation to fix the roof at the rec center in the amount of $64,080.57. If I get a motion for that, please.
So move.
Do I have a second? Scott, exactly, that's the amount we're paying, but that's reimbursable, is that correct?
Correct. All but $2,500 is going to be an insurance cost, not a city cost.
So, but we're paying for it up front. Is that the way it works? Then we wait for the reimbursement?
I'm not sure which way that works out, but we'll work that out with the insurance company.
I think they pay for it up front. Don't they? Just pay for it. Okay. Motion and a second. Roll call.
Alderman Peterson.
Aye.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Wahlberg,
Yes.
Grace.
Yes.
12.5, we have here a consideration directing the city manager to work with longitude 315 to construct a permanent parking bump out on Waukegan Avenue.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
That's
No
fine. Motion's fine.
Okay.
Or roll call's fine.
Okay. 12.6, consideration of an ordinance amending section 7-5-5G, parking on the east side of the street to restrict parking on the east side of Euclid Court and the cul-de-sac. If I get a motion for that, please, to eliminate parking on the east side of Euclid Court
I will make that
and the
motion
cul-de-sac. Thank you.
and wait first reading.
Second.
Nice. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Okay, motion and a second?
Over here.
No. Roll call, please.
Alderman Grace,
Yes.
Wahlberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson.
Finally, last thing on the agenda for this evening before we go into executive session. 12.7, consideration of an ordinance granting a special use permit for a planned unit development and approving a preliminary plot for planned unit development at 440 Green Bay Road. I got a motion, waive first reading and approve. Oh, we have a couple.
It would be,
Changes, right?
it would be a motion to waive for first reading and approve with condition 1, using the petitioner's proposed language. Condition 7, reading that petitioner shall install landscaping or screening on the western boundary of the property. And a 9th condition requiring petitioner to work to incorporate a landscape plan on the east side of Green Bay Road.
I'll make the motion to waive first reading and approve as altered.
I'll second the motion.
So this did go through planning and zoning, correct? They came back with 9 suggestions, right?
Fine, recommendation.
It, what, passed unanimous? 7-1, okay. Large majority. And they are currently working with ComEd to figure out how to bury the electrical lines as we speak. Good project, 52 units, nice out exterior, good interior. Good
They're
parking.
going to get the prices they want to get, but
We'll see. That'll get them.
I've been doing a lot of research into retailing, into rentals.
So it depends, yeah, but you're
Of
looking
late.
at different different space.
I'm sorry, rental is what I meant to say.
Oh, rentals.
Fucking
We'll
lot.
see.
Yeah, it is pretty expensive. I
Pretty pricey.
wish they put a pool instead of a dog park, but
No one ever uses a pool,
I don't know about that.
Indoor pool.
maybe a lap pool.
Look up Sono East. Chicago.
I just look at the openings that are still in Renaissance Place, which is it's very comparable sizes, very
Yeah.
comparable at price points, and there's vacancies.
And the vacancy there.
Metro though, right here. Maybe that's.
That is an awfully boring place to live, though, Highland Park.
But they have good fire
Thank God the
services.
fire department. left.
Say that out loud.
But their fire services are very nice.
I mean, you're getting, you're having people move up from the Chicago area.
That's
moving into this region. You know, when our sign says city life in the suburbs, right? That's
What's
who
it
we
say?
are, city life in the suburbs.
Still have my,
They still need to do a couple more things and they'll be back for final approval here in the future. So we have a motion and a second. Change in the motion. So roll call, please.
Alderman Wahlberg,
Yes.
Grace,
Yes.
Peterson.
Aye.
Fetterman.
yes.
Okay. That will conclude the new business aspect of the meeting. However, we do need to go into executive session. Is that correct? Pursuant to
2C2 for collective bargaining and 2C1 for,
Pending improbable litigation.
2C11 for pending probable litigation, and probably 2C1 for personnel.
Okay. We got a motion for
So
2C1, 2C2, 2C11 motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the motion.
Alderman Fulber, and then
Second.
Peterson. Roll call, please.
Yeah, we can stay in here.
Yeah.
Alderman Fahlberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson, Grace.
Yes.
Okay. Push pause on the recorder, right? The TV recorder. Thank you. Unless they want.